All right. So, yeah, there's even more space still left on this freaking island than I thought there was. Hey, hi, hello. I'm Liz. I hope you're feeling snazzy. I hope you're ready for whatever is about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen, but we'll find out, won't we? I guess. Yeah. So thanks for stopping by, for checking this out, because I am going to do one of my favorite things today, I hope, or at least we're going to start on it. We're going to start making a desert mountain with a bunch, and I mean a bunch of termite mounds, okay? So, if you've ever wondered, like, how does that work? What do you do with termite mounds? How can you make them look good, like in a build? What are they even for? I have answers. I have a lot of answers, okay? So, stick around if you want to see how that goes because I've basically, built a whole island with them before. Not that they filled the entire island, of course. I don't recommend that. They do cause lag eventually. Of course they do. I mean, they're an item. So, yeah. But I think they're just one of my favorite things to use at this point and I can't wait to just go even crazier this time than I did last time. So, that's what we're gonna do today. Well, let's look at the area we're working with. Actually, you just saw it. Yeah, it's a lot. So, yeah, the back left corner of the island is the goal. We're gonna do it. Let me just go ahead and like open this thing. It's necessary. So I've been doing a lot of thinking before we get into like the how-tos and all of termite mounds and like what's going on here. I've done a lot of thinking about what to do next because I know generally what I want for the rest of the island. Let me pull up the handy dandy map. Okay, so ignore the mishappen bunch of villagers right now. We'll fix that another time. But some of them are staying. But you can see, I've done a lot on the bottom right and the right side. It's not all finished by any means, but that's what we've done. So the back left corner, mountain. Okay, mountain and desert scape for sure. Front left is going to be hopefully like a little town area. Think just like a rundown little old kind of dumpy but cute town in the desert. We're gonna have like a little rooftop bar. We're gonna have houses, the shops will be there, all that cute stuff. But for now, I want to go ahead and do the mountain because I figured the mountain is gonna take up as much space as it takes up. Like I don't know how much space it's gonna take up until I do it, basically. So I figured it needs to be next because otherwise, if I do everything up front first and then I don't leave myself enough room, we're screwed. That's all there is to it. The rest of the stuff doesn't need any certain amount of space. It can just take up however much space is left, So that's kind of how I figure things out involving my island is what do I know I need space for? Do that first. And then the other areas that can kind of just be fit in around the bigger areas or like the areas that need a certain amount of space, do those later. That's how I've survived so far. I can't guarantee it'll always work. Yeah, but for now, okay, so here's the thing. We got all this space, like a lot. I'll probably mess up a lot. That's honestly my advice is to just be ready to mess up a lot. If you're like me and you don't plan it out square by square like some people do, I'm not that kind of person. I can't do that. Those of you who can do that, I don't know how it feels to be God, to open one of those island planner thingies and like lay out your whole island square by square. I don't know what that's like. I for one can't do that, like not even a little. So if you can do that, congrats. Oh, look. Okay, so what I need to do is just, for now, I need to just figure out height and stuff. And possibly a vantage point or like a viewing point that will view this from another point of the island. But I want it to look cool like from up close and from a distance, in different ways. Okay, so what's going on here is obviously this is not what it's going to look like. For now, I'm just trying to figure out, like I said, spacing, height, viewpoint, all that good stuff. So like, you know, I'm probably gonna just mess around with a like, let's see, with some kind of, you know, vantage point per se. And it may be from a building. Like I may end up making like this cliff here, like the back of a building, like a rooftop type thing, you know. That would be fun. I really want to mess with that. I've always wanted to do those and I just haven't had a chance yet. Like a, you know, a little rooftop like chill area. So cute. What am I doing? Just bear with me. Whatever I'm doing is probably not like permanent, or it might be. I'm not sure. But for now I just want to get a gander of the mountain, the start of the mountain. So now for the hard part, which is actually making the mountain. Yeah, we're just gonna have to, you know, shape it, make it bigger, do everything with it. Ugh. I'm already exhausted. Okay. I think we can work with the termite mounds now. At least start doing that. So, if you're here for termite mounds, I mean, this is where it gets juicy. Or rocky, I guess. You may be thinking, this is not very exciting of a mountain. Everybody makes this exact shape of a mountain at some point, or at least a lot of people do. But what's gonna be special is the termite mounds, hopefully. I was going to do a dormant volcano up here instead of the fourth cliff, and it just... The problem is the termite mounds can't get close to it. Like, it takes up so much space, but then you can't get anything near it. Like, it's one of those awkwardly shaped items that needs like a 10-foot distance between it and other items, you know? It's awful. So, let's talk about termite mounds, okay? Let's talk about these fellas, because they are an amazing item. They really are. You may be thinking that's silly, look, that's all there is to it. No, 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 no. This is basically four items in one, okay? Trust me, because each side of the termite mound is different from the next. All four sides are unique. It's amazing. So, you can take advantage of that and really make, you know, a diverse, eye-catching, visually appealing something something. So let me show you what I'm saying. So, of course, you know, you have the four sides. There's one. As you can see, that one's different. That one's different. And that one's different, okay? If you use only one side everywhere, it's not going to look as good. That's my opinion. It's not going to look as good. It's going to get redundant, okay? So, let me show you. So I slapped these three down, just three. We're not gonna, you know, there's gonna be more going on than that. But let's say I just did all of them shaped like that. Ugh. You can tell it's just the same item over and over. And I mean, that's going to be obvious to some degree anyway. But let's just say, you know, you go like that and then you go like that. And already there's more visual interest just because all three of them are turned different ways. Okay, so you've got a slightly different looking thing on all three of these because all three of them are showing a different side of themselves, you know? So I like to try to stagger which side is showing as much as possible because otherwise it just looks a little redundant, you know? Now, it's okay to have, at least the way I look at it is I don't mind having, you know, the same side next to each other here and there, like that's fine, or like near each other, you know. There's only 4 options, so there's only so much variety you can do with four options, you know. But that being said, there's no reason to do the exact same side everywhere, you know. So even when your character is facing different ways, you know, you want to like kind of consider, okay, like those two just there would have been facing the same way, you know. Now, a lot of these are going to get hidden because the first tip for termite mounds is what I was just saying. Use all 4 sides. Use all 4 sides. The second tip is layer them. Okay, now there's a lot of like circumstances, I think, to the layering tip. So you're not going to be able to do it everywhere. Now, the good thing is they do only take up 1 tile. Okay, so we like that because obviously we love that. It's not as stressful. You can, you know, pretty much squeeze them anywhere that there's a tile, obviously, but you know, if you want to do what I'm doing right now, if you want to layer them on each level of a cliff like this, then your cliffs need to be more than 1 tile wide, right? So if I only had 1 row of space to walk around up here, then I would only be able to put 1 termite mound down all the way around this top rock, right? So that's fine. That is not necessarily a bad thing. I am an extra person when it comes to decorating in Animal Crossing, okay? So because that's how I am, I like to layer things. I like to hide the cracks, okay? See this right here? That's a crack right there between those 2 termite mounds, and we're gonna hide it. We're gonna hide it. I don't want to see any cracks. I don't want to see anyone's cracks, okay? Just trust me on this. There we go. I didn't want all 3 of those to be facing the same way because I'm just a freak like that. And there's nothing wrong with it, okay? You can come at me for being a freak, but at the end of the day, it's working, you know? So at least I think it is. It worked last time. This is kind of take 2 per se. I don't know if I want those there or not. We'll try it. We'll try it. The good thing is we can undo pretty much anything. So that is nice. So don't necessarily think that what's happening right this second is permanent because it may be or it may not be, you know. Okay, that one's in a different spot actually, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a mountain. We'll see. We'll go look at it in a minute from the vantage point and just kind of get a yep, that's gonna happen a lot even though it's not always true. It's lying to you, I promise. Not all the time, but a lot of times it is. Okay. Yeah, we'll go get a gander here in a minute of how it's looking. You don't want to go too crazy. Like, go and look at it as often as you need to, because otherwise you may have problems. You may have issues. And it's just as you're just as well to figure that out sooner rather than later. God, you know what I'm saying. There we go. That was the secret to that. Okay, I have these things just spread out all over my pockets, but that's fine. Before I go over there, I'm actually gonna just heck around with the sides here a little bit. Ugh, it's lying. There's room. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, so this right here is a great spot to show you what I mean by layering. So I put that one over there, and then there's this crack here, and we are going to hide the crack. Boom, we're doing it from behind this time. Oh god, that sounded weird out of oh, okay. We're talking about cracks and doing it from behind. This is not good. Okay. Yeah, so back to not talking about that. Let's go look at it. I don't mean to be this way. I really don't. Let's just see. Okay, for one thing from down here. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's some termite mounds. That sure is. Nice. Love to see it. Love to see it. It's like it's got a hat right now, a spiky hat. Cool. Okay. If only we could still hack to force level. Like, I would be unstoppable. I would put, ugh, it would just be amazing, but we can't. So yeah, that's sad. Now, like I was saying, you don't have to layer your termite mounds and hide the cracks. I certainly don't do that everywhere, so don't feel like it's always a necessity. In fact, on my very last build, oh, that's a cactus. I mean, that might go there. We'll see. On my very last build, the Desert Valley, a lot of that area is actually not like layered termite mounds. They're mostly like just onesies. So I don't think it's necessary everywhere, but when you're doing kind of like a sort of a perspective build like this, like a mountain, where you're really trying to make it look like as far back as you can see is just rockiness, you know? That's when I think it's important to layer them. So it's not like every single spot, like along your cliffs if you're doing like a canyon, like for instance the kind of canyon road that I did back on Sage. There was termite mounds, yes I can speak, lining it, but they weren't necessarily layered everywhere, maybe in some spots. But they mostly just like, there was sand on the first layer, they mostly hid where the sand and the cliffs like didn't connect well. Like they would go on top of that overlap, you know, they would be the overlap per se. So sometimes they're good for that kind of thing too. If you have sand or like, you know, a dirt path or whatever, they can kind of help you out there. So yeah, it's not like you have to place we're gonna have to come back to that. It's not like you have to layer them up all over. It really just depends on what you're doing and what look you're going for. There's plenty of other amazing creators who just do amazing things with termite mounds, both with and without layering them. I will hopefully do, I would love to do like a video featuring other people who use termite mounds and make desert landscapes and stuff. Maybe I'll do that here eventually, but just there's so many things you can do with them and so many different aesthetics, you know, so it doesn't always have to be like United States desert, you know, there's other types of deserts and landscapes that they look so cool in. So I would love to talk about that sometime some more, but yeah, there's just so many, they're so diverse. They're such a great item because they're just a rock, you know? I mean, they're just a sandy looking rock, and that's so good for us, I think, as a community. Just being real. Okay, I forgot to start recording, but I'm adding a little bit more, I don't know how I just did that on the other side. Okay, I'm adding a little bit more space around the mountain just to give myself some more breathing room, some more termite mound room. There we go. That might help a little bit just for that bottom layer. Another thing about using all four sides, it doesn't matter as much if you are doing a really far away like shadow perspective build where you can't even tell, you know, which sides you're using. So that's, you know, there's definitely going to be angles and distances. Oh, okay, that works. That, you know, you won't even be able to tell on these, like which side they're facing. So that's fine. Boom. Yeah, that's fine. And then boom. Okay, so it's not about like filling every single spot. It's just about covering the cracks, okay? You can have some awkward spaces here and there as long as your cracks are covered. And again, that only applies to a situation like this, you know? Let me show you. Okay, so while we're talking about that, here over on the other part of the island, see? We're not covering all the cracks here. It's just not necessary. We could. It would look better, you know, if we did. But I don't want to have to worry about doing that and leaving enough space to walk through, right? Okay. But over there, up top, okay, so like just as a, you know, example, the first two levels, we're not covering the cracks for the most part. There's a couple places where we are, but it's far enough away, and you know the cliff and the termite mounds do look good next to each other. They're basically the same color, the side of the cliff and the termite mound, okay? But up top we definitely covered the cracks because there isn't a cliff up there, okay? They're the only thing between us and the sky on the other side. So, you know, for the most part, we just like layered them enough to, you know, make it look like another cliff level that's just made up of termite mounds for the most part. But down here, you know, there's just kind of one layer around the edges, and then up there, there's, you know, multiple. Like, here, let's go see if I can even get in a good spot. But yeah, up there, you know, they're kind of layered up there a little bit, you know. So yeah, I'll maybe go back to Sage, like the dream address sometime, and give you, maybe I'll even do it like later on in this video. I'll show you some other examples, but I'll go show you the mountain I was talking about earlier. But yeah, it's not something you have to stress about. Like, I think when you can make the time and space to do it, to be crazy, then that's great, you know, but it's not always realistic, and that's okay. You know, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, is do what you can. And I know you may not even have enough termite mounds to do that everywhere, and I've certainly been in that spot before. And that comes to the next tip for termite mounds, which is, where do you get so many, Liz? Right? And some of you may know already if you've watched, you know, some of my other videos and stuff where I talk about this, but I get them from ACNH Treasure Island on Instagram, okay? I definitely think, regardless of which one you use, Treasure Islands are the way to go with termite mounds, because you can't order them yourself. They are sadly just not a Nook shopping item, you know? I think they originally come from the bug off, don't they? Like, you get them from Flick, but you know, he's gonna give you like one and you're gonna have to work hard for it, catching all them bugs. So yeah, that's not what I'm about, you know. I've never gotten one from that, actually. I'm such a cheater. So yeah, my advice is Treasure Island it, regardless of which Treasure Island you choose to use. I will put mine on the screen. I probably already did, but mine is great, ACNH Treasure Island, because even though you have to pay for it, in my opinion, it's so worth it. Okay, I'm back with more. So, like I was saying, I think it's worth it to use ACNH Treasure Island on Instagram because, yeah, you're paying for it, but like, worth it because if you use their, it's actually their DIY and materials island specifically, it has a place on the far left side of the island, on the rocks actually, that has 40 termite mounds dropped that you can grab, okay? So basically, you can have the island to yourself for either half an hour, however long you pick. Also, they're great because now they have it set to where you can schedule your visits yourself. Like on their website, you can just go pick the time you want and it just emails you the dodo code when the time comes. It's super great. But you have, you know, however much time you want on that island to yourself. So you can just fill up your pockets completely with termite mounds over and over and over again until the time runs out, which is what I've done. And that's why I have 536 of them. Yes. I think I used like between 300 and 400 termite mounds on Sage. I don't know if I'll use all 536 or not. Oh, good gravy. But I most likely will, just because that's who I am as a person. But yeah, it's really the most cost-effective thing to just go to the DIY island and just fill it up, fill up your pockets over and over. I am struggling. And let yourself just be drowning in termite mounds. So I did that, and it really doesn't take that long. It's not as tedious as it sounds. To just grab 40 at a time. You can have them spawn them on your island. I did that once before. I don't know if it was before they had 40 or not. It must have been before they had 40 on the island. So I had them come over and they just spawned like 200 on my island for me. It was awesome, you know, so you can do that too. But I think now it's more cost effective to just go grab those 40 yourself, you know, and just run back and forth. It's pretty great. It goes by pretty quick, so like don't stress, you know, it's worth it if you are a crazy termite mound enthusiast like I am. So yeah, that's who I use. Now there are plenty of free treasure islands out there, and you know, just various ones, but I like to use them because I know there's 40 on that island, you know. I just don't know how many some of the others have as far as termite mounds go. You can definitely, you know, look into that. I'm sure there's some decent options out there. But again, okay, this is looking pretty nice. There's one spot on each side that's kind of bothering me. But we'll see if I feel like dealing with that. Maybe. Well, obviously we're gonna do the bottom level. Fear not. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Okay. Anyway, yeah, there's plenty of like free islands and stuff, but I just don't know if you're gonna get like enough. It just depends on if you're doing something like this or not. Like, do you need 500 like me? If so, maybe if you can spend some dollars, you know, I think it's worth it. But yeah, that's just my thing. That's what I do. So just to answer that question for anyone who wants to know, it's right there, and right there. You can see the cliff through, which again is not that big of a deal, but from that angle, it's just bothering me a little. Okay, let me think how I'm going to do this. I know there's only one in the very front, but let's see. I mean, that looks better to me. You can't tell from here that, like, you know, there's some awkwardness going on. Especially when we add the bottom level, I think it'll be alright, you know? Is that something I want to do? I guess I'll go look. You know, all you can do in these cases is just go look. Just try it and take a gander, honestly. I like how none of my villagers have come over here this whole time. Like, I'm not necessarily complaining, don't get me wrong. But it's kind of funny. Normally when I'm building, they're like, hi, and I'm like, oh. By the way, Kiki is doing great. She's thriving. She was working out in the plaza earlier. She was talking to Fang. They were getting along. They're all being very cute. You know, Julian's being a weirdo and sitting in the half-grown flowers on the beach, but that's, you know, all we can expect from him, I guess. It's just so many. The problem with something on this scale is like just the tedious process of putting them all down, you know? It's just, ugh. And refilling your pockets over and over again. Okay, I will of course fill all of that in and finish all of that, but let's see, I just added some more to the sides, so let's see how that, you know, what that did for it, if anything. Oh yeah, it looks like it just goes further back even still. Yes! Oh my gosh, that's cool. The lighting in this game is unreal. I just can't. It's so pretty. Yeah, once we like really decorate and everything, I think it's going to look nice. I think so. We just have to figure all that out. Okay, it's the next day for me and I don't like it. I mean, I do. Don't freak out. And obviously it's daytime now. It's 3 p.m. in my game, which isn't as ideal as like 4 to 5 p.m., but we gotta just start somewhere, you know. Yeah, it needs some help. I still overall think we're on the right path, but yeah, I also think we're gonna have to move the vantage point back like a space or two. Yeah, but there's some things that we need to adjust with the termite mounds. There's a couple spots that need some help, maybe multiple spots, but yeah, also we're gonna go see if anyone's watching KK because it's Saturday in my game. But while we do that, I will just say I went to bed last night and just immediately realized I was wrong. I do want sand. I do want the sand. I do. I really do. So we are gonna slap some sand down between the vantage point and the mountain. Yep, yep. I wanted to try like just this once, relying on the sandy like dirt-ish color of the grass, but I just can't do it. I want the sand after all. So I tried, an effort was made. I think that's what matters, really. Oh, it's just Sally. Oh, honey, where's your girlfriend? Where's Ione? I'll be your placeholder until she gets here. Look at her tail. Her little cinnamon roll tail is just so cute. Oh my goodness. Anyway, also I realized something else last night. Remember how I was saying, wow, my villagers haven't come over here to bother me? Well, yeah, Liz, it's because they can't get over there unless they spawn over there. Look, they literally can't get over there. The villagers don't hop. I mean, I wish they could. Well, kinda. Maybe that would be bad and scary, actually. But like Cherry's over here somewhere. Yeah, there. Oh, all right. We're just gonna act natural. Just walking through here. Nothing to see. Nope, nothing to see here. Just doing my daily walk along the shore. Just checking out these flowers. Yep, yep. They're still here. Oh, what happened? Collecting stamps. Strong opinions about stamps. He collects stamps. Oh, take what you will from that. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so they're over here right now because their houses are over here and they spawned over here. But I think yesterday, like, none of them had, like, spawned on this side. And so, like, they couldn't get over here. I think I'm going to make a temporary land bridge for now because it's actually bothering me that I can't, like, just run across. I have to stop and hop too. And I'm too tired for that. I'll have a bridge eventually. I just don't know yet where it's going to be along the river. So I'm not going to commit to that until I, know what I'm doing. Oh, okay. They can get across, I can get across, everyone can get across. We're crossing animals, you guys. I figured it out. I figured out the game. We're crossing animals. Okay, I'll stop. Hi, I can explain. Now don't worry, I didn't destroy anything. I just it's the next day yet again for me, and I I did a little bit of stuff. I put just a few little things down between this cliff and the build, you know, just to give some pizzazz, some eye candy, you know, some texture, some variety on the sand, you know, and I really did mean to record it. I really did. I'll show you in just a second. But that being said, you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek right now. That being said, I meant to record that part too, but so I've been working on this like cracked dirt or sand path. Like it's a transparent path that you can just put on sand or dirt, right, to make it look like it's really dry and cracked and whatnot, you know? So I've been working on that to use like in this area and areas nearby. And I was going to not record me putting some of that down out there because, oh my god, because I didn't really want anyone to get a close look at it yet because it's not done. Like it still looks pretty bad up close. Why am I so bad at this? So, you know, I was just gonna show it to you like from the cliff, from a distance, and it wouldn't look that bad. It would just look textured out there, but not like you don't need to see it up close just yet kind of thing. I was going to do that, right? So I got my Switch and I went out to the living room and I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit out there with my Switch with my dog for a minute because she likes it sometimes to be on the couch with me, right? It's very cute. It's very cute. Well, I didn't factor in the cat, which I should have because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. She came and just laid on top of me and it was very cute, you know, like it always is when cats do that. And yeah, I couldn't get up. I really couldn't. And so I just kind of did it. I just kind of threw some stuff out there while I was trapped. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I'm being so dramatic right now. I'm also being so stupid. Yeah, so I put some stuff down there. I will show you. It's gonna look better in the right lighting and when the weeds are grown in. Obviously there's some weeds, you know, but what I'm doing right now is something so silly. I don't know if this lookout point is going to be natural, like an actual cliff, or if it's going to be the top of a building, like a rooftop situation. I just don't know yet. But for now, I'm literally being so ridiculous. I'm getting it a little bit bigger. I went too far. It doesn't even need to be this big, but I'm making it a little bigger so my character can walk out of the picture. And I'm gonna like low-key just do a little tiny bit of decorating on it, like bare minimum, like maybe a little bit of path and weeds, just for the sake of taking Instagram pictures. Yes, that's who I am as a person right now, and if you don't like it, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's just too bad. Julian, get the heck out of my scenery, okay? I love that you are very gay and very just bright and very just you, but you don't look right out there. Like we're not having a, you know, a pride event in the desert as much as I would love to. That would be, maybe we will do that. Maybe we will have a pride event in the desert on my island now that like there is finally kind of like a desert on it. So that would be cute. I'm sorry, Julian. I'm just saying you don't look right out there. You look like you belong in outer space or at a club or something, a very gay club, and that's great. I love that for you, but you don't look like you belong out in the wilderness. You just don't look like you would survive out there. There's a scorpion out there. Okay. Well, I guess you're getting the view with Julian. Oh my goodness, hold on. So yeah, I just literally tossed down Julian, buddy, you look so bizarre. Okay. Yeah, just a little, you see the funny part? I didn't even use the cracked path. I didn't even use my half-baked cracked path. That was hard to say. Yet, it's just that bad. And so I put down the little, like, subtle God, I can't speak. I put down the little subtle grassy path that I put under the wheat fields in the farm area. Yeah, I put that down for now. And just some rocks and bushes that look kind of like tumbleweeds or just like desert dried up plants, hopefully. Yeah, I think it'll look better though at sunset. You know, right now it's still a little blue out, very blue out. That's great, but Let me just kind of make this cliff look a little bit better for pictures. We're gonna just pretend it's like a natural cliff for now. Yes, Julian, I am very talented. Yes, I am. And you are not necessarily helping the aesthetic, but I mean, go off, I guess. You know, go off, I guess. So, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? All right, are we ready? Are we ready to see how it looks in the ideal lighting? Well, I don't know if this is perfect, but it's fine enough for now. It's fine enough for now. Let's just go see. All right, so there it is, y'all. There's my desert mountain for you. There's my just huge mound of termite mounds. That's that's what it is. I don't know if I'll leave everything exactly like this. Like, should I keep the bushes or not? Let me know. Let me know. Give me your thoughts on those on the shrubbery. I think I like the general concept though of like the stuff that's out there, but you know, any ideas you have, I'm down. I'm down to hear them. So maybe when I get the cracked paths finished, I think it'll look better overall. I'll be able to really like figure out what I want to do. But again, this is just to kind of complete it for the moment, you know? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But there you have it. And yeah, sure has been a moment. So thanks for joining me, you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you like it. I hope you maybe got at least a little bit inspired, and I hope you're excited to see what comes next because I am. I'm excited to see what ends up happening. I never know until it happens, but I feel a little bit hopeful for it. So that's good. Look how funny the airplane emote looks when I'm holding my ladder. Also, it looks like I'm just up on this huge crazy cliff out in the middle of the sky. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Anyway, thanks again, people. Like the video if you feel like it, you know. Let me know what you think. Have a snazzy day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.